Yo, guys, what's going on? Coach Jamie here, and I am so excited to have you here listening to my podcast, Make Time for Your Mind with Coach Jamie, where we will be talking about all things mindset, vulnerability, personal development, ways we can become better individuals. And sometimes in that process, we'll get heavy, sometimes we'll have fun, and sometimes I will be challenging your perspective. The goal, no matter what, though, is to leave you better than you were before you tuned in. So, with that being said, let's dive in. Yo, guys, welcome back to season 3, episode 2. First and foremost, if you are new here, my name is Coach Jamie Sharla, and I am a mindset transformation coach specializing in training the brain and shifting the perspective of those who are absolute hustlers that are successful, but they are struggling to experience happiness and fulfillment in the lives they have worked so hard to build. I'm blessed to say that I do this on a one-on-one basis with people all around the world. So outside of that, I am a ridiculous amount of energy and just love to be able to pour into people and give them a reason to be challenged so they can truly step into the best version of themselves. So thank you for being here. I am so excited to talk about this because for this episode, we live in a world where everybody is like, I need to know my truth. I need to speak my truth. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know I get to focus on me. And although that's very, very great, the approach and how many are going about learning about themselves, or the way that they say they know who they are, is kind of all wrong. And what I mean by that is that it's still very surface level. We settle with self-care of the quick fixes, where I'm just going to go get pampered to, have these little bursts of pleasure so I don't have to deal with maybe some of the pain that I'm actually masking behind my everyday life. Or it's that I'm just so exhausted, I need something to allow myself to feel this goodness as I'm just exhausted from the day, right? And it's important to learn and do those things that you enjoy that are going to let you appreciate and enjoy life, but they're all just temporary. And I think the way that you're going to be able to experience more fulfillment and happiness is if you truly learn to know and understand yourself, because then in turn, that's going to give you a better ability of how you show up to others around you. Now, let me explain. Think of whether you are new to dating, or even if you're somebody who's been in a relationship for a long time, and when you first would have been dating, or if you first interview for a job, or you first connect with a new friend, or anything of that nature. You have this initial perspective and you judge and you think a certain way about a person, right? But then over time, the more quality time that you spend with this person, the more questions that you ask this person, the more you experience life with this person, you grow to genuinely know who they are and understand them. But if this is somebody that you meet 1 or 2 times and you don't continue to make time to get to know them, you're probably not going to have that strong of a relationship. So now take that concept and think about it when it comes to you. How much time do you actually spend with yourself? Quality time. Not, hey, I needed a chance to get away from everybody because I need some silence. And then you put on some headphones and you just start cleaning, or you get lost into a project, or you throw yourself into being pampered, or you hide behind a vice of alcohol, food, porn, the gym, anything and everything that keeps you from genuinely sitting and having a quality night in with yourself. How often do you ask yourself questions? How often do you get curious about yourself? Why is it that you like something? Why is it that you don't like something? What type of experiences shaped that? Like, What do you like in other people? What are some qualities that you like about yourself? What don't you? What are some things that you would want to change? Like, how much time are you genuinely spending getting to know yourself? And the reason why I'm asking that is because, yes, we are in our own bodies. We live in this all day, every day. We know the thoughts that keep going through our head. We have to wake up and look at ourselves in the mirror and then go to bed with ourselves at night. But how much time are you actually taking to get to know you? And what kind of inspired me to go to this is that I had a client of mine where I was challenging her, this was years ago. I was challenging her to like take herself on a date. Like, she didn't really go out of her comfort zone very often. She was like nervous and wasn't very social with other people. And when I would tell her like, well, what are some things you enjoy? She's like, I honestly don't even know. I'm like, well, that's obviously a problem. But hey, the fact that we can identify that means that we can find a solution to this problem. So I asked her, I'm like, well, what's something that you like to do? Well, I don't really know because I don't do anything. I'm like, okay, so let's pivot from a different avenue, right? I'm like, what is something that you don't like doing? And she's like, oh, I don't like Thai food. I don't like Thai food. And I was like, okay. Why don't you like Thai food? Was it because you had a bad experience because of who you went and got Thai food with? And so now all of a sudden you don't like Thai food because it reminds you of that? Was it because you got food poisoning from an experience with Thai food? Like, what is the reason why you don't like something? And she's like, honestly, I don't know. She goes, I had it one time and I just remembered that I didn't like it, but I don't remember what I didn't like about it. I'm like, okay, so go get Thai food. Maybe it was just a bad experience. Maybe it just the food that you got wasn't a good introduction to the goodness of Thai food, right? Like, get curious, find a reason on why you like or don't like something. And also, like, we acquire a different taste and a love for things over time. So maybe how you felt about it then, you're not going to now. Like, another prime example, when I was in high school, the movie Bring It On was like the movie, and it was absolutely freaking awesome. And it was like my favorite movie to watch over and over again because I was a cheerleader. So I related, and it was, oh my gosh, right? There was like probably 5-10 years ago, it was on TV and I started watching it and I was like, how did I like this? This is so flippin' ridiculous. And I didn't feel the same about it. But at some point I did, but I'm obviously not that person anymore. So even with that throws in another layer to this for you, is that who you were in the past isn't who you are now. At least I would hope not. So every day is a chance to discover and learn something different about yourself. So my question for you is, how well do you actually know yourself? What are the things that you like and the things that you don't like? If you had to clock how many hours you spent of quality time getting to know yourself, how many hours would that be? Would you be able to confidently say that you truly do know who you are based off of the amount of time that you genuinely have given to getting to know yourself? Really allow yourself to think about it. Ask yourself those kind of questions. How well do I really know myself? So if that's too broad of an area of where to start, because now you're just going to write some things down because that's all you know how to really identify as, is I'm a mom, I'm a sister, brother, coworker, volunteer, friend, dog owner, right? Like, if that's all you feel like you can come up with, I want to give you guys more of a specific question to ask that could maybe expand a little bit more about you and your self-discovery. So this is part A of the homework, if you would like, is how well do I know myself and who am I? Okay, that can be part 1. If you feel like you've mastered that, go ahead and go to part 2. And I want to challenge you to think about one specific experience in your life that happened. Good, bad, I don't care what it is, but I want you to write down something that you experienced in your life. And then I want you to write down 3 things that you learned from that experience. Okay? Once you've written those things down that you learned, how is it that you live your life or that you implement what you learned today from that experience? Either way, I hope that this is just going to encourage you to take time to get to know yourself. Because again, the better that you know yourself, the better that you can be in control of yourself, the better you're going to be able to go out and help other people. So I can't wait to hear the feedback from this. And as always, for my overachievers out there, I love it when you send me that feedback and you let me know that you've been taking these call to actions to heart and actually giving yourself a chance to implement them. That's where growth is going to happen. So I always encourage you to share them with me or to somebody, because that's also what just solidifies the growth that's taking place. So here's to becoming better people, y'all. With love and gratitude, Coach Jamie out.